Hey everybody, this is John Spalding with G1NBC Cuyahoga County, your local hometown for news, sports, shows, and NETEX. County, and this is our newsroom. We're going to go. We will be. People will be able to be. You can come in and chat with us. Give your comments. We'll read them on air. You can, if you want to work with us, email us or get in contact with us through G1NBC Cuyahoga County or our G1NBC Cuyahoga County Facebook page, and we'll bring you into the newsroom if you want to come on in and give us your take. We have four main areas for our local affiliates to cover stories, and that is news, sports, shows, and network exchange, or what we call NETEX. News is any story related to people in Cuyahoga County. It can be a big story. It can be us kind of just going through Twitter or going through social media and picking out some of the big stories. We have a couple picked out. It can be national or local, whatever is of interest to you guys that you want our community to listen to and pay attention to. Sports is anything sports related. We're not sports journalists, so we will cover the big three from a fan perspective. But we do want to encourage stories from high schools, from local colleges, from any other types of training facilities or any other sports or activity-related stuff. So if you have stuff that you think needs a shout-out or needs some attention or wants us to do an interview on, look us up and let us know. We are happy to help cover your events. Shows, anything related to entertainment. If you have a local web series that you want to get off the ground, if you have an idea for a cooking show or a small minute video to have produced, then we will help you get that done and get that on air. If you want to talk about shows and entertainment that you from a national or internet that you want to discuss, go ahead and we'll bring that into the newsroom. Like I said, if you come in and do comments when we get to the shows section, we will promote it that way. And then network exchange is business to business. So if you have any commercials that you've already done and ran on other networks that you want to have us broadcast, then definitely get in touch with us. If you want to promote your business through our web pages or our Facebook and social media accounts, definitely look up G1NBC Cuyahoga County. And then if you want to work on projects with us, if you have a skill and you want to work on a project with us and partner with us, then we will do it through the network exchange. It's also a good place where we can do hangout videos like this, and you come on in, we do a quick 5 to 10 minute interview on your product, and we get you up on the website. And that's a simple network exchange. We only ask in return that you attribute the video to us and talk with us out in the community, so people know what we're doing here. So without further ado, Brandon Bell, thank you very much for being here today. How are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing, man? I'm doing well.
Good. So thanks for being here, Brandon. So we got a little bit of a rundown for you guys. We're going to go for a half hour, so we'll go until 11 o'clock. And we're going to look at news, sports, shows, and NETEX, the categories that I just outlined for you. I won't be doing this introduction every time. We'll kind of come in and hop right into it. So today for news, and we'll do about 6 minutes or so per kind of category, news, sports, shows, and NETEX, and then go through. So first up in the news, we have why are Black people not feeling the burn? And so, Brandon, what's going on with politics these days in terms of the Black community and the upcoming presidential election?
It's a lot of different things, a lot of different factors that's going into the political field this year. I mean, for one, there really isn't there really isn't an African American candidate in the forefront for a lot of African Americans to identify with. And bottom line, people identify with what they see first and foremost, and then they listen. So it's hard to identify with Bernie Sanders. It's hard to identify with Hillary or Donald Trump, or Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio, any of those guys. Ben Carson, I mean, he's there where he's at. and a lot of his political policies I don't particularly agree with. And then you have, I mean, basically we still support Barack Obama. A lot of us, I mean, I wish Barack Obama could do a third term. He was, in my opinion, a good president, a decent president. Uh, I didn't agree with everything he did, but I agree with more things that he did than he did not. So that's where I really had to, uh, lay my factor at. And but when it comes down to Bernie Sanders and when it comes down to Hillary Clinton, and I mean, we talked earlier about this, and I'm starting to soften up on, and it's where I want to pay attention to listen more to what they have to say.
Hmm.
In regards to the climate, simply because of the fact that I want to make sure that I'm picking the right candidate, and also with the Republican Party, I've listened close, and I've listened to what the other guys are talking, because I mean, it is a fact that Donald Trump may be the next president. So you kind of want to pay attention and go all around. So when it comes out to the candidates right now, it's a field of I mean, really nobody's really capturing the American attention, and nobody's really kind of setting the president as far as really what they're going to do and what they want to do. To me, it's just a weak field all around.
Yeah, that's cool. I think a lot of people would agree with you that it's a weak field all around. Um, I do think that there is some the Democratic race is interesting. You have the establishment candidate in Hillary Clinton, who last year was it was a foregone conclusion that she was going to win and be in a prime spot to be the first female president of the United States. And then this crazy socialist revolutionary Bernie Sanders comes out of nowhere talking about a political revolution and is rallying folks. So he won New Hampshire. He was a couple points behind in Nevada. He was actually 40 points behind just 5 months ago. So I think people are listening to him, and he is making his ways. On the other side, it really does seem like Trump is going to run away with it. But it's close. We'll see when he gets into the Midwest and how that comes out in March. But the Democrat or the Republican side might be a fight all the way to the convention in Cleveland in July. So that'll be definitely interesting to follow. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for that. The next thing up is Flint, Michigan. So can you talk a little bit about Flint, Michigan, and I'm going to bring up an article here.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line is messed up. I mean, that's just basically what it is. It's just messed up. You got an entire city that's poisoned, water supply that's poisoned. I mean, there should be politicians and people in office that should be arrested for this now. They should be behind bars. There should be a greater effort to give those people assistance in that city. And
Yep.
I mean, really no other. I mean, that's just basically the bottom line. You really can't. There's nothing else to say about it. It's messed up. It needs to be taken care of right now. Those whoever was in charge of any that had anything to do with the responsibility of the people's water supply, they should be in jail right now. No bond, and waiting trial.
And do you think that with that, do you think that's going to happen?
No.
So I'm going to go up and.
What I think is going to happen is it's going to become another news story. And it's going to eventually just fade away into the news.
Yeah, I think so. It really all depends on pressure and people learn and how much pressure.
Yeah, now I'm going to tell you something.
To get any of it done.
Right, and I'm going to tell you something about Obama. I'm disappointed that he hasn't put more emphasis on getting that city taken care of. I mean, that is it's a national tragedy. It is a national disaster. and it should be treated as such because people are getting ill and people's health and their lifespans are being cut short because their water is poisoned. Still with me, John? Huh?
I totally agree. Brandon, can you hear me?
You're breaking up.
See a story from the EPA, Michigan and Flint. This is from CNN. Michigan and Flint officials not addressing some water crisis. You see, NBC Fire Department collects water for Flint. Flint, Michigan water lead levels.
Man, you're breaking up some.
A researcher says that's from CNN. WD, local church collecting water to deliver to Flint from WHITV. The state of Michigan poisoned the reservoir $100 a day. That's in Politics USA. Philadelphia leaders show support for the people of local in Philly. Collect Michigan, Alex News leader. So I think you can see that our nation paying attention. I think headlines and have some stuff to it, but and I know they're daily or on the weekends or whenever they can and delivering water, folks. That needs to be. So next up is a story on the dredging of Lake Erie. Brandon, are you a fisherman?
I used to be with my grandpa. I'm not. Please enlighten me.
All right, no problem. Thanks for that. So the dredging of Lake Erie, that's an interesting story coming out between the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They are disputing the dredge dumping that the Army Corps of Engineers is doing in Lake Erie and in other places in the Great Lake region. It says it's going to bring consumption levels down to 1 meal per month for walleye. And for those of you who don't know, you can see right in here, this is an article by James McCarty from the Plain Dealer, that Lake Erie is the walleye capital of the world, and it's facing a threat to its fish, the walleye, which is a $1 billion a year sport fishing industry. And what's going on is the Army Corps is planning to dump sludge from what some would consider contaminated into the lake. And they're arguing back and forth with the Ohio EPA, saying that, oh, it's not that bad, and oh, what they're doing, it's not enough to really cause harmful levels. But then you're looking, and they're looking at the harvest, and they're looking at what's happening to the walleye, and it's definitely having an impact. What do you think about that, Brandon?
I don't know what you think about that, John. I mean, I like fish. Fish is delicious, and anything that's going to mess with the fish is a bad thing. So, I mean, yeah, how is that going to affect the fishing?
So what happens is the dumping is going to affect the water, and it's going to affect how they're able to just live. It contaminates the water. For me, it's not as much an issue of the fish. It really is. So if it's having that much of an impact on the walleye, imagine what the impact that is going to be to our water. And you can see how it's related to the Flint crisis. It's just they're dumping toxic chemicals into the lake, looking at the standards and saying that everything's okay. But it's really only a matter of time before something happens, and we're looking at at Cleveland potentially being the next Flint.
Yo, John.
Yeah.
I got kicked out.
Just turn your camera back on. We can see you. This is what happens with the new age of broadcasting, everybody. Everyone's doing their own thing, which is fine. I think it's great. But sometimes you have technology glitches. I'm surprised that this Hangout's still open. We had it open earlier, and I got kicked out four times. So I think that's it for the news. Let's go. We were going to talk about Zika, but we're running a little bit behind. So let's go to sports. Can you hear us okay, Brandon, even though we can't see you?
You can't see me?
No. You got to turn your camera on or something.
Can you see me now?
No.
No? Oh, wait.
You should be able to, if you tap your phone, you should be able to see a camera icon. You just push that.
Yeah, it was working. That was not. Hold on 1 second.
You might have to go back out and come back in. So Brandon went out and came back in. We're going to go into sports right now. When it comes to the big three, we really want to be careful on how we cover it. We're not, like I said, we don't pretend to be sports broadcasters, but we are going to come at it from a fan's perspective. I know Brandon wanted to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the trade that they have for Channing Frye and the path that they have to potential NBA championship. We all know about the Browns and how they have been a struggle and consistent turnover ever since 1999 when they came back. So they have a new regime this year, new analytics folks in the front office, and the new season starts in like 2 weeks or 10 days, something like that. And so we'll be having some good stuff. The Indians, typical Indians offseason, I think. We had not a whole lot of moves. They signed a couple folks. None of them really stand off the charts. But a decent chance with their pitching to be good. I'm gonna go ahead and call Brandon and tell him that he has to go back to the link and he can't just call me from another hangout and have it work. So let's do that right now. I'm gonna put him on speakerphone so you can kind of have him back. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
You have to go into the link that I sent you in the email. You can't start a new hangout. You have to.
Yeah, I just figured that out. Yeah, I just
Okay.
figured that out. Yeah, I'm going back into the link now.
All right, we miss you.
All right, cool. Miss you too.
Can you see me?
And he's back.
Yo. All right. Technical.
I carried the show while you were gone, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, you're the right one that carried it. If I'm not around, man, so I know you had it. I know you did.
All right, so let's go to sports. We're not going to do the Zika, and we're going to have to quickly go through this. We only have 11 minutes left, and we've still only done the news. So sports, I started a little bit. I gave a little bit of my rundown. Why don't you talk about, from your perspective, the Channing Frye trade and where the Cavs are going heading into the playoffs?
I think the Cavs are going where they were originally set to go, and that's to the championship. And at that point in time, the championship will play itself out. I look at Golden State and San Antonio. Like, I mean, they're just teams. They're having really good regular seasons. I mean, and nobody has time to practice and prep, and they really don't have time to practice and prep. And when you have a team that has camaraderie on their side, yeah. So, I mean, I'm waiting to the finals. The Cavaliers have to make it there. I think the team that they got is. I think everybody is tripping. David Blatt shouldn't have been fired. Kind of, sort of, because I mean, why? But the Cavaliers, they going to the finals, man, and that's just what it is.
You don't believe the GM when he says that they had a locker room issue, they had a kind of a personality issue, and that's why he got fired. I really think it's really just that. I mean, I think the GM kind of looked at the relationship with Tyronn Lue and LeBron, and he saw that he was confiding in him, and he can, you can see LeBron when he gets mad. Or when he gets upset, that things aren't going his way, you can see it. He doesn't hide his emotions well.
Not David Blatt's fault, though. That's LeBron's fault. Like, I mean, you're like, in my opinion, okay, then you're a grown ass man.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right? But as a general manager, he said this coach is not getting through to this guy. Right. I think he saw that, and I don't think he's assigning blame to David Blatt. I think he saw Tyronn Lue as being the better leader to help get LeBron to where he needs to go to take this team to a championship.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, if that's how it is, then that's how it is. I mean, I think, I'm going to tell you like this, if that's the case, Tyronn Lue better win the title. They better bring that title in. I mean, because I just think
it needs to deliver the title, that title too. I think Kevin Love is on him, and I really do think that Kyrie in April is going to hit his stride. He's going to be really good. That guy, he's got to stay in attack mode and keep going, and I think they'll all be fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you like this: with Ty Lue, I think he is a better coach than David Blatt. David Blatt coaching in Israel was like coaching in high school over here. You know what I'm saying? I think Tyronn Lue is better for the job. I just don't think they should have fired David Blatt like then. I think they should have fired David Blatt last year. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. I don't think you're 31-11 in the middle of the season. I mean, all right, maybe you call David Blatt and you say, all right, Ty Lue's running, he's running more of the plays.
They ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. He needed to make that change. The GM needed to make that change, and he felt he needed to. He pulled the trigger. They got it done. I think everyone was kind of surprised that he actually did it. But
now, what you think about the Shannon Fry trade?
I don't know much about Channing Frye. I know he can shoot the threes. I hope he can play some defense. It's very sad to get rid of Andy. I know people loved him. He's old.
I'm about to check out Shannon Fry real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's YouTube this guy.
So, yeah, that's fine. And on the other, so then I'll go over to the Browns while you're looking up that Channing Frye stuff.
Yeah, and I can multitask, so we could definitely talk some. And here's another thing, man. Cleveland Cavaliers is the best sports team we got. They should get more attention than the Browns. I don't even want to talk about it because the Browns suck.
Who is?
I don't like talking about the Browns because the Browns suck. I don't think they deserve our attention because they ran their organization so bad. I think the Cavaliers to get everybody's praise for being the sports franchise in Cleveland that is really attempting to try to win the championship. The Browns is not, and the Indians is not. I think the Browns and Indians, they're just taking people's money. The Cavaliers, they're trying to give people the bang for their buck. That's how I feel about it. I love the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like
the Browns didn't raise season ticket prices.
So what?
I said the Browns didn't raise season ticket prices.
Yeah, that's a victory. That's the only victory we got in this town. Look, how about this? How about and this is put the pressure on the Browns. Every game that they lose, they should give away 100 free tickets to the next game.
They can't give away free tickets. No one will go.
I'll go to a free Browns game. I don't want to pay money to watch us get our ass whooped or about to win, and then we do something stupid with 2 minutes left, and then we get our ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Browns. Like, I don't know why they are what they are, but I think honestly, I think it's the name. I think it's the colors. Like, what the hell is a brown, and why are? I mean, look, don't nobody want to. You can't win a championship in a brown chocolate suit. You can't do it.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Hugh Jackson's here, baby.
Look, I love Hugh Jackson being the coach. Like, that's probably the best player we have on our team.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Josh Gordon's coming back. Free Josh Gordon.
Free Josh Gordon, baby. You know what I'm saying? And then here's another thing, too. Now, Josh Gordon and Johnny Manziel, right? You got a guy that smokes weed and is the best receiver in the league. Then you got a guy that drinks alcohol and can't even get on the field. That should be a clear sign of why people should legalize marijuana and then, like, you know, make it harder for people to drink alcohol. Because my man Josh Gordon's
girlfriend.
And also Sosa's girlfriend. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you have an abusive, drunk quarterback who didn't get suspended for a year, but then you got a guy who smokes bud and goes out and perform, and he gets suspended for a whole year. Nobody's talking about that. That is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's the
just think about it.
Of the NFL and sports in general.
America, period. You have a guy that smokes weed, goes out and puts up 1,400 yards and like 11 touchdowns that year, and gets suspended for a whole year because he smokes weed. Then you got a guy who goes out here who gets drunk, beats up his girlfriend, comes to practice drunk, and he doesn't get suspended.
Everybody's like,
we gotta help Johnny. We gotta help Johnny. It's about the kid's life. It's about the kid's life.
They put him in the concussion protocol. There was he probably won't face any problems with that.
But that's what I mean, though. Like, Johnny Manziel has been given so many opportunities to succeed, and he's pissed in everybody's face.
All right. Calm down. Johnny's out of here. Johnny's out of here. The Browns have started over again, and now they're going down the path. They're going down the path to bring Brandon and the generation of his age group back to being Browns fans, teaching them the traditions of Paul Brown, putting the Jim Brown statue outside of the stadium, and making sure that this team is set up for a championship. Excuse me?
Paul Brown. Didn't he leave us to start the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, but there's a bigger story behind that, and so you need to read up on that before you start making fun of Paul Brown and his legacy.
Look, man, I'm not making fun of Paul Brown and his legacy. Honestly, I don't care about Paul Brown and his legacy. I care about winning a title and all that white tea stuff. Look, man, that gets in the way of us winning the title. Because I'm sorry, if I'm a football player, I'm not intimidated by a Brown, a Cleveland Brown. Look at those Doodoo Brown. We need a logo. Can we at least get a logo on the helmet?
No.
Why?
No, it's a tradition. You can't have a logo. It's the colors.
Our tradition is getting our asses whooped.
The colors and it's only since '99. The colors and the tradition are the logo. You can't change it. I wouldn't be in favor of that. I know some people are, but
are you serious?
Yeah, I can't do it, man.
What? Bro, really?
Nope.
Really?
I'll cut this broadcast off right now.
Why?
I'll cut this broadcast off right now. Don't you? You're messing with my team now.
No, listen, man. Why wouldn't you put a logo on the helmet like every other NFL team in the league?
No, that's the tradition. We're the only one. That is the tradition.
The tradition? Really? Don't you think sometimes
the logo is the helmet? The logo is the helmet.
Man, look, man. Look. You know what? As a kid, I had a tradition of coming home, doing my homework, playing with my action figures, and eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I don't have that tradition anymore because playing with action figures is not what's going on with the grown man now. The Browns need to put a logo on the damn helmet.
No, that's a baloney argument. A logo ain't going to make this team any good. Good drafting, being consistent, getting the right players, having a good scout team, that's going to make it good.
I had to say goodbye to my wife, man. She's looking beautiful, man. Shout out to Kendra Bell, the most beautiful wife on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Just every single way. my baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're up against it now. We obviously are going longer than a half hour. So let's do the Super Bowl halftime piece before we go into closing it out.
Black Power fist. That's how I feel about it. Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like. Look, I don't know what got into you, but yeah, you keep on doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I saw this thing on Facebook. It was a great comparison. Like Madonna and all them Katy Perry, they could come out and do like weird, like satanic, symbolic, whatever performances, and that's all well and good. But Beyonce come out and they didn't even do nothing. Like they didn't. I mean, they came out dressed in all black. Like, what's the problem? And if it was a dedication to the Black Panthers, what's the problem? Because and that just lets me know that the white community that had a problem with that didn't do their research. They don't know who the Black Panthers are or what they're stood for. They said the Black Panthers are a racist organization. Last time I checked, Black Panthers wasn't hanging white people from trees. The Black Panthers was put in the community as a organized way to protect the community from racist police officers, Ku Klux Klan members coming into our community and killing our people. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, if they were white Panthers, they would be called heroes. They'll be written in history books, and man, shout out to the heavens of
hold on a second,
American greatness. But Black Panthers are vilified in the country. They're vilified. And if Beyonce pay homage to the Black Panthers, I say more power to her, because people don't know the history of the Black Panthers. People don't even probably never even read a book about the Black Panthers. People, if I ask you who is Huey P. Newton, most people wouldn't be able to tell me who is Huey P. Newton. They have a problem with what she did at the Super Bowl. So I think the Super Bowl was great. I think Bruno Mars was great. I think Coldplay. I like Coldplay.
Oh,
to their music. Clocks is the shit. Paradise is awesome.
Hey, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, oh, Coldplay is soft. Look, man, when I want to feel emotional and I really want to get inside of my emotions as a man, I listen to Coldplay.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't believe you just said that on YouTube.
I did. As a man, I don't have too many opportunities to really be in my emotions, man. So I listen to Coldplay. I listen to Drake.
So I watched have you ever heard of the White Panthers?
Have I ever heard of the White Panthers? No, I heard of the Ku Klux Klan. No,
see, that's the thing. So I want you to have all the information that you can. So the White Panthers, they were this organization that was kind of non-militant. They were all to the, I would say, the far left of the political party. So they were non-militant. They were, I would say, like hippies and things like that. And they basically stood behind the Black Panthers, and because they asked Newton, they said, "Hey, what are some things that we can do to help support your guys' plight and what you guys are going through?" And he said, "Just tell us, tell us about it. What can we do?" And so they don't get a lot of attention. That whole movement in the '60s, they don't get a lot of attention.
Party, but you know what? If there were a White Panther Party and that's their history.
Yeah.
Listen.
So now I watched the Black Panthers special on PBS, and you could definitely tell that what they did in Chicago with Newton was a hit job. And they showed all the footage, they showed all the testimony, and you could see how they went in there.
They tried to kill
unloaded
Asians.
Yeah.
They tried to assassinate their man. The police, when Huey P. Newton got shot, and the police went into the hospital and tried to beat the man to death while he was on the hospital table.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a shame. It's a shame.
And I'm gonna tell you, so you know what? For anybody that has a problem with what Beyonce did, you might be a little racist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, at least do your history. You could be a little ignorant. You know what I mean?
So my question to you is: did Black people stop organizing like that after that happened? Like, so why don't we hear about?
It wasn't allowed, because when we did organize like that, no, it wasn't, because you seen what happened when we did. We were the Black Panther Party was destroyed by the government. So when we did, saw what happened. So yeah, we do, and when it was separated, the feds came in with the narcotics, with the drugs. I believe a lot of those gangs was a part of the plan and part of the scheme that to keep us separated. And I believe that and for people to be and once that happened, I also believe that that was a big problem for us not to see past that. And if we would have saw past that, you know, like, yeah, man, why are we out here killing each other? Because we only killing our own soldiers in our own army, really, over difference of neighborhoods and difference of colors. So right after the Black Panther and the Civil Rights Movement, it went to the gang violence, and then from gang violence, then you add into it really wasn't even gang violence, man. It was just like, you know, different crews that was or still in an organized sense and fashion, and you know, they're still protecting their neighborhoods, but it wasn't with the same vision. It wasn't with the same focus. And so it was very easy to when you take poverty and then you put in money and narcotics, then you have the breakdown. It's a very easy breakdown. So African community from our standpoint, we need to do more research and more of our own history, find out who these Black Panthers were, find out who these White Panthers were, find out, you know, who were the good ones back then, because, you know, American, you know, the Super Bowl highlighted one really great thing. People didn't pay attention to this. Did what's his name from Coldplay? Did he have a problem with performing with Beyonce?
Me? I don't know. I doubt it. No.
So, I mean, they rehearsed that stuff. So he already knew what she was doing. He didn't have a problem with her doing her Black Panther salute or whatever. He didn't protest with her.
But here's the thing: how much did they get paid to do the Super Bowl? I mean, not that he would care anyway, but
they don't get it. Here's another thing: they no longer get paid to play the Super Bowl. They have to pay because in the NFL now, that's the greatest. Coldplay has a new album out, Beyonce has a new album out, and Bruno Mars has a new album out. There you go.
Okay.
And so, you know, I mean, that was their own personal. They made their own personal investment. Like even Coldplay put their names on the line to stand by side Beyonce while she did that performance.
All right. Well, let's look at these. Let's look at these headlines. From the Super Bowl, and this is just from today. Not all the headlines are today. It really just depends on how they load in terms of Google. But you see NYPD, they say we'll protect Beyonce if she apologizes for the Super Bowl halftime show. The Easterner says Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime show is not racist. Pre-Med Life says what pre-meds can learn from Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime show. NBC News, I would assume that this is in Tennessee, says the Tennessee sheriff blames Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime show for shootings. Beyonce tickets pricey following show stealing Super Bowl halftime show. That's a horrible headline, thestreet.com. I don't know what you're doing. But Brandon, you have any reactions to those headlines? Brandon froze up again. I can't hear you if you're still in the room. Yeah, so there's another one on the Tennessee sheriff. Beyonce Super Bowl halftime show rubs cops the wrong way. Miami police to boycott Beyonce concert over controversial halftime performance. So you can see that there are definitely some mixed opinions out there. You guys heard what Brandon had to say. You guys can always contact us, and we definitely would like to have and hear your view. Get that on the air for our next broadcast, which will be coming up next weekend. We're going to do this every weekend. We're going to pick a day, meet you for a half hour to an hour, and you guys are more than welcome to come in. Just look us up at G1NBC Cuyahoga County.com or G1NBC Cuyahoga County on Facebook, or you can just search for G1NBC Cleveland and you will see us in there. So we're going to go into a little bit of network exchange right now to kind of close it out. We're going to kind of wind it down. And so for network exchange, this is, like I said, this is business to business related stuff. company related stuff and things that we want to talk about. So, and any business in the community, if you want to have be featured on our website, our Facebook page, or on one of these broadcasts, just get in touch with us and let us know. So the first thing that we have is a movie coming up called In Production. That's with our friends over here at Tot Films Productions. Hey, Brandon, just let me know when you're back.
I'm back now. They keep on kicking me out, punks.
I know it's a bad connection. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
so these are our friends from Tot Films, and they have a movie coming up that Brandon's going to be starring in. It's called In Production.
Production.
And what's your character's name on that?
Donnie.
Donnie. Okay.
Donnie. Yeah.
And this is your show. If weed was a person. So that was a little intro from Tot Films, and you are a feature over there. What do you think about that?
I got people video Facebook. My phone is doing dumb shit right now, man.
Hey.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back. I just showed a little bit of if weed was a person. All right, man.
All right.
I just showed a little bit of if weed was a person, and talked a little bit about the movie. Any reactions to your work so far and in production?
Yeah, man, it's been great. Great cast. Misha Tott is a great writer, great director. Dave Hall, shout out. Great behind the lens. Daniel Wozniak I've worked on several projects with him, man, and he's always great to work with. So it's it's been a great project to be a part of, and as an actor, I'm blessed. It's everything, as an actor that you want to be a part of. It allows you to be creative with your character. The characters are fun. The storyline is great. So this is going to be a great movie.
Cool. The last trailer I'm going to show you guys a little bit of today is one of our people from our network exchange, and that is Skip Thomas Productions. And so this is actually a trailer for an upcoming film called Banger, and it's really interesting. It says when a turf war claims the life of a Haitian immigrant, his mother conjures up a spell to bring him back to exact revenge on those responsible. And so this trailer, he has the premiere, and some parties are going to be coming up. And so we are helping him with doing some promotion. But today I just wanted you guys to be able to just kind of see the trailer and enjoy it. What do you think, Brandon? You still there? All right. Seems like we lost Brandon again. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out. The last thing that we were going to do, and I was going to have him touch on this, is Cleveland's Visions of Angels Youth Foundation. They're another Cleveland-based nonprofit organization, and I'm showing their screen right now, so you can kind of check that out. You can see their homepage. So Visions of Angels Youth Foundation, empowering our youth through arts and cultural recreation programs to provide youth of Greater Cleveland the opportunity to explore and discover their highest potential through education, recreation, and community outreach. It was established in 2009 by a gentleman named Sears Mitchell. He's a completely blind individual who had a vision of change for the city of Cleveland. He started the organization with his group of friends, and it turned into a productive and sustainable organization. Over the past 6 years, they've been able to accommodate and support over 200 children, and they've a dedicated team and the experience to make a difference in any community. Brandon, do you want to talk a little bit about your experience with the Visions of Angels program? No, he's still not back in yet. So I know Brandon was a volunteer for them. He did teach a couple theater and acting classes over there, and they do some really great work out in the community. So if you do want more information about them, just check out visionsofangels.org. So Brandon, I do want to thank you for being here today. I know we're going to end. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. But we're going to go ahead and end. We've been at it for about 45 minutes, a little bit over what we wanted. But so that's kind of a taste of what the G1NBC Newsroom for Cuyahoga County is going to look like. We're just going to take news, sports shows, and NETEX, deliver kind of a run line of some website and information and some discussion, and mix it in with some fun and go from there. So thank you all for watching. And I hope that you look at it afterwards and get involved moving forward. If you do want to get involved, just go to our G1NBC Cuyahoga County Facebook page and message us, or you can send an email to g1ntol@gmail.com. And I'll put that in the description if you want to follow up, or you can go to g1nbc.com/Cuyahoga County, or you can Google search G1NBC Cleveland. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and I appreciate you watching. This is John Spalding with a Global One Network Broadcasting Company from Cuyahoga County.